Today's the day. I finally got my shifter in. I haven't said too much about it because it's not really that big of a deal, but my current shifter on my G920, whenever, especially when you put it into third, but whenever you put it into like one of the forward gears, it likes to act like it's slipping. And then mid-drift, I would end up just shifting into neutral and it would just straighten out and I would end up flying into a wall. So here we go. G920, brand new shifter. You can buy them off Amazon for like, I think like 54 bucks. Price may have gone up, but yeah, so I'm gonna put it on my rig, and then I have a few questions that need to be answered of a few other things I have done to that rig. So in just a minute we will get to that, but first I want to switch this out so I can actually start using my rig. All right. I have a very lovely, as you can tell, very lovely setup, but this is just a budget build. I don't do competitions or anything. This is just for fun. So I personally don't really care what my stuff looks like. I do what I do. So this e-brake is shot. I mean, and when I mean shot, let me lower the support, and the current support is held up with the OEM like screw that it comes with. And then I, about 3 years ago, shoved a vape box in there, and that's actually been holding it pretty well for a long time. But before then it was just this like this. As you can tell, there is no support under here, so as I would shift, it would, and essentially causing it to so I mean, this was just the start of my issue. And then, like I said, every time I would go into a like forward gear, especially third, it would act like the transmission was slipping. So I think it's time. So first off, I would need to release these bolts underneath here. So I think, yeah, this one was hand tight. I'm not quite sure why, to be honest with you. But let me see here. It's just a little Allen key, and they come in the kit for this stand, and the name of the stand is the Wheel Stand Pro V2. It's also on Amazon. Again, it's sort of just a cheap buy. It just makes it work. I don't truly recommend it because it is a little top heavy, but it works. So again, it's just an Allen bolt. So I just got to get my Allen wrench and pop this loose. Ta-ta-ta. Ta-ta-ta. Bolt is out. Now, there's all the spacers that go with it. We can just kind of let that dangle. Okay, and as some of you may noticed, I have removed my buttons. I will go over that in a minute, but first I have to remove them. And again, I don't really care. This works for me. You don't have to set it up like I do, but you can use my tips and tricks to make your setup even better if you have a G920. I don't know if this works with the other G wheels, but I know it works with the G920. So I gotta get this off, and then I have to undo these to remove the entire wheelbase to be able to swap out the plug, because it's fixed in there. So, all right, here we go. Okay, shifter's on. It's feeling really good, really solid. I like how it's fit better onto this mount. It did not have these before on the old one, so I've kept them and utilized them as mounting points. But now onto this. So as you can tell, some things look a little bit different. First off, like you saw, my buttons were down there. So I'm gonna simply and quickly show you how to remove these. I'm not gonna go through the whole process because, to be honest, it's kind of a pain in the butt. But there are a few other tricks and other videos that you can use, like getting this housing off, because in order to remove the buttons, you have to run the cable that plugs into that motherboard through the back. And it's not really the easiest task in the world, but it is doable. You do have to kind of use some tweezers and fish your way through the motors and stuff, but I did this because I have this e-brake. It is soldered to the motherboard. I used to be on Xbox, so that was the only way we could have that e-brake on Xbox, was to solder it to the motherboard. So I've just stuck with that. I will probably change it out as time goes on, but for now, like I said, all of this works for me, and it was cheap, and like I said, it works. So in order to remove the button face, there are 5 screws that are located in the back here. There's one here, there's one behind each paddle shifter, and then there is one on the bottom behind the Xbox button as well. You'll want to remove those and then remove your Logitech faceplate that comes right there as well. In order for this plate to remove, all of that needs to be disassembled, and then this will just simply pop right off. You won't be able to pull it very far. You will have to disconnect the cable that runs through the center here, and it's pretty simple. It's just a Molex plug, very simple Molex plug. Once you have done that, you are at this stage, minus this would be running through the center here. You would then remove 3 screws that are located here, not these 2. These are for the paddle shifters. Really, let's see if I can get a light in there. So I have left them out for time's sake, but as you can see, there are 3 Phillips head screws here. You'll want to remove these 3. So once you have done that, I will just do that really quickly. Once you have done that, and you need to make sure that your cable is disconnected, you will then just simply pop that off, and there you go. Your button case is now removed. You can set all of that aside for later because you will need to reassemble it. Now, again, this was the tricky part. You will then feed this back through here. The hole, it's very tricky. It's very far back in there. Yep. You can either de-pin this or do what I did and just wrap a ton of electrical tape around it, starting from about right here, and just spool it around until it gets to about the end and just pull it through. And then you just follow suit through the rest through the back. Now once we're here, by this point you guys probably already have one of these. I will put a link down below for one that already has these holes machined in. I believe they're on eBay for like 25 bucks, but I had to machine my own in, and I believe I have it marked as top right here. It says top, so I know which side is which. So then you would just add your plate right there with your 3 screws, attach your quick release, and bing, bang, boom. Your buttons are removed. And boom, voila. Quick release, no buttons. It's a thing of beauty. Feels so nice. I promise you. I recommend doing this. It's a pain in the ass, but it's worth it. I promise. I promise. I promise. Finally got everything back together. It all respawns. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. E-brake. That's e-brake. So far everything seems to be working. I ended up getting rid of the string, and we ended up just using Velcro ties. I think it makes it look a lot cleaner now. No more string. Use more Velcro ties to tie up some wire management, and yep. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Just shoot a comment, drop me a DM on my Instagram or TikTok, which will be labeled here at the end of the video. And I am dropping merch. We've got sweatshirts, t-shirts, and stickers. Let me know. It's very limited quantity. If people are serious, those are the people I'm willing to sell to. Just people who are wanting to support me and the things that I do, and wanting to rock my logo on their sim rig or car binder at work or whatever. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, follow my socials, and yeah, peace.